Last night here in Fayetteville, Arkansas, a spirited and impassioned pep rally as part of the ceremonies here during homecoming week. And Tusk making his traditional arrival here at the stadium. All for the 70th meeting all time between LSU and Arkansas. So much at stake. Folks, this is why players work out tirelessly through the summertime. December 7th, one of the target dates, the SEC title game. December 20th, the college football playoff beginning, but it all is usurped today by this rivalry game. What are they playing for, you ask? This, the boot, the symbol of supremacy between the two schools. Hello, everybody. I'm Mark Jones alongside Roddy Jones, Quinn Kessenich down on the field joining us in just a few moments. What a great Saturday of college football, partner. Just down the road a few hours, Georgia, Texas, a lot going on there.
A monumental game. You talk about the college football playoff beginning. That will have a lot of playoff implications. It should be a great game, but the rivalry game we've got here is decided by 3 points the last 4 times they met. Should be awesome.
Very competitive. Hey, Garrett Nussmeier has been anything and everything that LSU has needed through a great winning touchdown last week.
And it's coming off of one of the games that he would like to have back. Wasn't his best performance overall, but the big time throws when it counted the most. 2 4th-down conversions in the fourth quarter on that game-winning drive, and then obviously the throw in overtime to win it. He was phenomenal when his team needed him. And Taylon Green, coming off of his most accurate game of the season against Tennessee, but got banged up. Took a low hit, bruised his knee up a little bit. We've been told he practiced all week long, hit 21 miles an hour on the GPS, but his mobility is something that we'll have to watch today.
Folks, he is fast, and one of the great tactical storylines of this game tonight will be the offensive coordinator, Joe Sloan, against D coordinator, Travis Williams. The winner of that might have the upper hand in this battle. We'll be back with more right after this.
You're watching the Dr. Pepper Championship Drive Game of the Week.
They're playing for the Golden Boot. Folks, you're watching ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by IHG Hotels and Resorts. This is the SEC on ESPN. Arkansas winning the toss, deferring to the second half, meaning LSU will have the football first. Back deep at Xavion Thomas and Josh Williams. Number 18 right there for the Tigers. We are underway. Let's go downstairs to Q to tell us about that Arkansas defense and who runs it.
The heavyweight battle in this game is LSU's O against Arkansas's defense. And in the corner for the Razorbacks, Travis Williams, 41-year-old defensive coordinator, girl dad, and former Auburn linebacker, has this group playing with great energy. Second effort, winning the chess match, but more so winning with effort. Arkansas has not given up many big plays this season. These Razorbacks are playing for Coach Williams.
Young rising star in the coaching profession. Pressure off the edge. Nussmeier gets it out in time, and a healthy gain of about 7 yards to Caden Durham. Nussmeier, look at his numbers last week, admittedly did not play his best football. Just 22 of 51, 43%, but big passes completed when it counted, Roddy.
Played his best football when his team needed it the most. On those 4th-down conversions, on the game-tying drive, and obviously in overtime, showed a lot about the character of this young man.
They go 3 by 1. Nussmeier hands it off to his back, Durham, and Durham is near that first down marker. Picked up 4 yards. Sorey Jr. making the tackle on the play. So they move the chains. Brian Kelly, the head coach of the LSU Tigers, really happy with the buy-in that he's been able to get from his players the entire season. Coming off a huge win against a ranked opponent last week. Nussmeier gets it out quickly again. Complete out to the 44-yard line. That's Kyron Lacey, who caught that game-winning touchdown last week. Brought down by Marquise Robinson, a.k.a. Cuddy. Sam Pittman in his 5th season on the sidelines at Arkansas. Boy, what a huge win last week against, 2 weeks ago, their last game against Tennessee. But back-to-back ranked opponents, a daunting task for his team. 9-yard pickup on that last play. Nussmeier hands it off again to Durham, and they pick up another first down. Jaden Johnson, the safety, coming up to make the tackle.
The ability to run the football is something that they struggled with a week ago against Ole Miss, and really have struggled in SEC play with. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that the fronts that they played recently, particularly against Ole Miss, were really, really good players and really, really good scheme. Their ability to throw the ball, it's been mostly through the air.
Play clock at 10. Nussmeier out of the shotgun. Clock down to 4. Gets it out quickly again and finds another receiver and finds another first down. That's Lacey with his 2nd catch. Robinson brings him down, but he picked up 11 to move the chains.
Talk about what they did last week. Again, running the football, only 84 yards rushing, and no player had more than 37 yards. The thing is, though, a lot of these quick passes out of the backfield, like the first one we saw from Garrett Nussmeier to Caden Durham, that's just an extension of the run game. It's almost 100% completion percentage pass, but it's short and it lets your running backs get out in space.
Anderson in motion. Nussmeier stepping up, delivers into the end zone, incomplete. There's a flag down in the end zone, intended for C.J. Daniels, and defended back there by Jaheim Singletary. Remember, the Razorbacks are without Braxton, their top cover corner. That's going to be pass interference against Singletary.
Watch the hands of Jaheim Singletary. Yeah, that's about as pass interference as it gets. C.J. Daniels almost brings it in.
Yeah.
He gets a hand on it, kind of hits off his helmet. Garrett Nussmeier knows it right away, but they were really excited, LSU was, about getting C.J. Daniels back in the lineup. Missed last week against Ole Miss. Already taking a shot to him early.
Empty on first down. Nussmeier out quickly again. Complete to Daniels. Boy, he is surgically picking apart that secondary right now with the short passing game. And to do that, Roddy, you need protection. He's gotten a lot of it all season long from that line.
He has probably the best tackle tandem in the entire country, with Will Campbell, the left tackle, number 66, and Emory Jones to the right tackle, number 50. Both of these guys likely to have their names called very early when it comes to NFL draft season.
Green in motion. They shifted him to receiver this week. Nussmeier in the end zone. Incomplete, intended for the aforementioned Green. And there's a flag down back at the line of scrimmage at about the 16-yard line. That's against Nico Davaye. So it'll be first down, roughing the passer.
The initial protection is very good. Garrett Nussmeier delivers, and the ball's clearly gone. Davaye giving Garrett Nussmeier a little too strong how you doing today? Good afternoon.
It'll be first and goal on their opening drive of the football game. Durham in the backfield. Taylor in motion, now sets. Nussmeier hands it off, and it's going to be Durham all the way down to about the 1.5, tackled by Jaden Johnson. A 3-yard pickup. It'll be second down and goal. Brian Kelly has said that Nussmeier's been a little reluctant to run the football this year. Figure that'd be an added weapon in this part of the field.
And he is a very capable runner. It certainly is an added weapon. But I think if you're LSU, with what he means to this pass game, you got to rely on that excellent, experienced offensive line to put the ball in the end zone.
Second and goal. Nussmeier, touchdown Taylor. And there's a flag down low in the end zone. Mason Taylor with the touchdown catch, but will it stand?
Offense, number 2. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Second down.
That's against Kyron Lacy. So the touchdown comes off the board.
So the key here is, where does Mason Taylor catch the football? Obviously, Kyron Lacy is contacting him. The ball is snapped from the 2 or the 3. Mason Taylor catches that at the 1. If he catches it at the line of scrimmage or behind, then it's not offensive pass interference. But because he's a couple yards downfield, it's OPI.
There you go.
And you back up to, what's that, the 17-yard line?
Yeah, way back. Great explanation on that rule, Roddy. 2nd and goal from the 17. Lacy, their leading receiver, yardage-wise. He's in motion to the top of your screen. And we have more flags. Consecutive penalties against the Tigers. Going to move it back even further, all the way to the 22.
And you wonder, this crowd's gotten back into it. Mason Taylor with a little flinch on the edge, the end of the line of scrimmage. And what was once a very promising drive for this LSU offense is not only stalled, but they put in a reverse and backed it up.
Nussmeier hands it off. Good seam to the left. Got around the corner. Hit the pylon, but no call. Touchdown! What a run by Durham. A last gasp lunge for the pylon by Caden Durham, who's gotten healthy over the last several weeks, and it really showed here.
It's a really nice job of making Jaden Johnson, the safety, miss in the open field. And did he get in? Did not look like he stepped out.
He lunged for that pylon and hit it with the football.
You do that, that's a touchdown.
It's going to be his 4th rushing touchdown of the season. So after consecutive penalties, they answer with a spirited run by Caden Durham. And LSU is on the board first, courtesy of an 8-play, 75-yard drive, eclipsing 4:39 on the clock. Resilience has been a buzzword for the Tigers all season. After that opening season loss against USC, they've been a different squad. Visiting Tigers leading 7-0 on homecoming weekend here in Fayetteville, Arkansas, which leads me to ask, Roddy, did they get their wires crossed inviting LSU to homecoming? Number 8 team in the country. I mean, you want a little bit more of a softie, right?
They don't
have
have
fabric softener on this one.
They don't have a lot of softies coming to Fayetteville.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Tennessee, LSU, Ole Miss, Texas. You got to Louisiana Tech in late November.
Wow. Well, we get our first look at Taylon Green here, 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. Remember, he was injured a couple of weeks ago in that upset win against top 10 ranked Tennessee. There's a look at his numbers in that upset win. He completed 70% of his passes, but missed the last series of the game with a knee injury. We'll keep an eye on how his mobility is early in this game. Jackson on the handoff, a healthy gain of about 5. Greg Penn, one of the voices of that defense, making the tackle on the play. So round 1, going back to what we said earlier, goes to offensive coordinator Sloan, Joe Sloan over Travis Williams. LSU leading 7-0. Green over the middle, completes it, 1st down, and then some. Armstrong out to the 45-yard line. They move the chains. A gain of 16 on the play.
We showed that 70% completion percentage last week or a couple weeks ago against Tennessee. A lot of that's because of clean pocket creates the ability for Taylor Green to stand upright and deliver the football with the proper arm angle that they've been coaching him, keeping that elbow up, delivering accurately. They did that there.
Armstrong with a big week a couple of weeks ago against Tennessee, 132 yards rushing. On the jet sweep, this is Anthony. And Anthony going to be stopped up for a gain of about 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Sage Ryan making the tackle. One of the stories when Arkansas has the ball is how do they keep those ends out of the backfield, Roddy?
Running the football. This is what Bobby Petrino told us. You've got to be able to run the football, run it at guys like Braden Swinson, who's been phenomenal this season. Savion Jones, who you see right there. Ability to run the football slows those guys down.
On 2nd and 6, Green looked pretty mobile there, finds Armstrong again, and his 2nd catch brings Arkansas down to the 30-yard line. He was working against Ashton Stamps and picked up 20.
They like to move Taylor Green out of the pocket a lot, and he does look very mobile. Looks just fine on that rollout. Andrew Armstrong, by far the leading receiver on this team, dragging across the field, makes the catch. And his ability after he gets the ball in his hands has really improved over the last few weeks.
First and 10 from the 30. They're going to keep it on the ground. You gain up 2 yards by Binion that time. Tackled by Greg Penn, the 3rd.
It's a little bit of an awkward play for Arkansas offensively. Left tackle Fernando Carmona never really came out of his stance. They're fortunate to get a gain on that, but I like Bobby Petrino sort of taking the air out of the football, running the ball, and trying to keep this LSU offense on the sideline.
They go empty on 2nd and 8. Green into the end zone. Incomplete behind his receiver, Anthony, and it might have been tipped by Sage Ryan. So it'll be 3rd down and 8. Perhaps a missed opportunity here.
I think Sage Ryan gets a fingernail on this thing, maybe a pinky finger on it, so that it did not find Jordan Anthony in the end zone. Just barely misses the receiver on what would have been a really nice throw.
3rd and 8. They come with some pressure. Green. There's his mobility. It's back, but there's a tackler down. Green knocked out of bounds at about the 23 by Major Burns with a major hit. He's about 2 yards shy of the 1st down. Picked up 5. 4th down coming up, and in comes the field goal unit.
Check this alignment from Blake Baker on the LSU defense. They've got 4 guys in a line. It's like a Maryland I formation defensively. 3 of them end up going after the quarterback, but Taylor Green's mobility gets him out of the pocket.
When was the last time you saw that?
Never. That's like one of those things where you just got too much time as defense. Let's line them all up and, send 3 of them.
Unorthodox look from the defense. Matthew Shipley attempting this field goal from 42 yards away, well within his range. And Shipley is going to push that to the right. Missed it. Had plenty of leg, but a blown opportunity there for the Razorbacks. Coach Pittman said earlier to us, this is a game that we have to win for so many different reasons. His counterpart, he knew it. Back after this.
ESPN College Football Prime Time is presented by IHG Hotels and Resorts. 19 hotel brands, 1 loyalty program. Download the app. And in part by Mercedes-Benz.
Whether it's wide receivers from LSU or running backs from Arkansas, the list of talented players that have competed in this rivalry through the decades reads like a who's who of college football. And this is the 70th chapter. Nussmeier tips and incomplete. Falling harmlessly at the 38-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Coach Sloan was telling us, Roddy, that it's important for Nussmeier to be on time, on rhythm with his feet. In layman's terms, what does that look like? What does he mean?
It means when your drop is supposed to come at a certain pace and at a certain depth, it has to be at that pace and at that depth, or else when you're getting to the top of your drop, your receivers aren't ready to break, and it throws off the entire timing. It makes you have to improvise.
On 2nd and 10, going to hand it off to Josh Williams. And they're going to blow this one dead. Got a flag on the play. That's going to go against the Tigers.
Offense, the center, 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
That's their 3rd penalty already.
2nd false start. Obviously, this crowd, a little bit of jitters maybe. The crowd noise getting to them a little bit.
Reynolds Stadium sold out on homecoming weekend. Over 75,000. Williams out to the 27-yard line. Hey, here's our next ESPN Thursday Night College football game. Undefeated number 20 Pitt hosting 5-1 Syracuse in a huge ACC matchup at 7:30 Eastern time. The Orange won last year's meeting, but the Panthers have won 5 of the last 6 in that series. Great game.
A lot of fun. Pitt, as you said, undefeated. People starting to take them seriously in the ACC.
Coach Narduzzi has it going this year up on the hill. Pressure off the end. Pass completed the 30 and a 1st down run. That's Aaron Anderson out near midfield at about the 48. Aaron Anderson, the transfer from Alabama.
And it looked like Danico Slaughter just lost his footing when Anderson broke out. Nice job keeping his balance, making that catch. He is a thick-bodied player at only 5'8", but he's listed at 190 pounds.
Nussmeier with all day to toss it, and does. Complete to Kyron Lacey. See where they mark the forward progress near that 1st down. Now we take a look at this week's college football rankings brought to you by Verbo. Big one starting in as I look at my watch, right about now. Texas, Georgia. Miami in a high-scoring game against Louisville.
How about Miami? I mean, they are playing close games, but Cam Ward's magic was on display again today in that game against Louisville. They needed every single one of those 52 points.
Saw Gino Torretta, another former Hurricane quarterback, here a little bit earlier. Nussmeier, the quarterback on the JOB now, incomplete. Intended again for Lacey on the post. Cuddy back there in coverage. Marquise Robinson setting up a 2nd down and 10.
Again, for the most part, Garrett Nussmeier hasn't really been touched in this game, with the exception of the roughing the passer, and that is typical. This offensive line has been excellent. Will Campbell on that last play was matched up against Landon Jackson, Arkansas's best pass rusher, able to keep the defensive end at bay. They are so confident in this offensive line. Travis Williams, defensive coordinator, is going to have to find ways to get free rushers at the quarterback.
2nd and 10. They keep it on the ground right between those tackles all the way down to the 36-yard line. Durham again piling up the yardage. 8-yard pickup. Good surge up front.
Yeah, on the backside. Watch the backside guard with this. He comes, kicks out. You've got the backside tackle. DJ Chester, the center, all washing things down. And you got a nice little gain on the backside after the cutback.
Third and 2, pressure coming. Underneath, complete for the 1st down. That's going to be Lacey. Picked up 7.
I mean, at this point, it's the underneath throws are almost like layups for Garrett Nussmeier, and he's not missing them. They're finding a lot of room underneath.
He's 7 of 9 passing so far. 1st and 10 from the 30. Quick 3-step drop, delivers complete down to the 21-yard line. That's Daniels working against Jaheim Singletary. How big is it that they're missing Jalen Braxton in the secondary, Arkansas?
I think it's very big because it's a trickle down. You're having to put Jaheim Singletary out there, who, while a long guy at 6'2", when he gets against some of these quicker receivers that can get in and out of their breaks, they can struggle in man-to-man coverage, so you play back. Well, LSU's picking you apart underneath, and a couple of times that they pressed, LSU's still been able to get open.
Mason Taylor sets. Nussmeier got rid of it, incomplete. In the vicinity of Mason Taylor. Sets up a 3rd down and 1. Good pressure, though, for maybe the first time tonight. Landon Jackson was in his grill.
He was, and it was because Nussmeier floated outside the pocket. That's the only reason. He was trying to get a better angle to ground that football. But as you said, first time they've had pressure in his face. LSU, though, in these situations, 3rd and short's been running the football well.
Third and 1. Durham in the backfield, a little motion up front. LSU has had some issues early. Not saying that this one's against them, but they've had 2 already on the offensive line.
False start. Offense, number 89. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
That's their 3rd one, Roddy.
And this one was sort of caused by the shift by Arkansas to focus this year. Watch the defensive line. They're going to all shift to the right, and LSU jumps. The focus is defensive line's not simulating action at the snap with abrupt movements that make it look like you're trying to draw them off sides. A shift laterally is not that, and LSU ends up in the 3rd and medium.
Big difference between the two, right?
Big difference.
Lacey in motion. Nussmeier completes it. 1st down catch and run by Aaron Anderson, the New Orleans native who decommitted from LSU, went to Alabama, played a couple of years there, then came back to LSU.
And they almost get to Garrett Nussmeier. They get Nico Davaye on Caden Durham, the running back, but Nussmeier's just able to float away from the pressure, deliver the ball sidearm, and get it to his running back. Or excuse me, get it to his receiver. Nice pickup by the running back, though, in the backfield. And it creates another 1st down. But, Mark, again, that was Arkansas pressed up, bringing pressure, and they still get open and give up the 1st down.
Lacey split to the top of your screen. Durham on the run. Might have gotten a yard or 2. Eric Gregory, the defensive tackle, limiting that gain to 2 yards. Gregory maybe played his best game a couple of weeks ago in that victory against Tennessee. 2 tackles for loss. 1.5 sacks in that game. And another long and inexorable drive by LSU. Lacey in motion. Nussmeier with time again into the end zone. Incomplete. Good battle for the ball between Aaron Anderson and Marquise Robinson. And good pressure from Landon Jackson. So Jackson's starting to find his way to the quarterback a little.
Lined up against Will Campbell. And look, the first film that NFL scouts are going to look at for Landon Jackson is this one, his matchup against Will Campbell, a guy who is in the contention to be the #1 tackle taken. He's going to have another chance to tee off on a 3rd and long here.
There are certain points in a football game where coaches find it important to talk things over, so they will. Now, don't forget Texas, Georgia, scheduled to kick off at about 7:49 p.m. Eastern time. You can watch that one on a device of your choice, perhaps with ESPN, and watch this on your TV, or flip it around if you want. But look at the crowd amongst the top teams. This is the 13th play of the Tiger drive. Play clock at 2. Nussmeier into the end zone. Incomplete, almost caught by Aaron Anderson. Working against Slaughter. It'll be 4th down, and Brian Kelly sends in the field goal unit.
It's a nice job of coverage by Danico Slaughter. It's a nice job of Travis Williams dialing up a twist on the defensive line to create some pressure, make Garrett Nussmeier a little uncomfortable. Gave his receiver an opportunity to make a really tough catch, wasn't able to bring it in and force the field goal attempt.
Yeah, it feels like a little bit of a win for the Arkansas defense. This field goal attempt from Damian Ramos coming from 33 yards out, considering the way that LSU has moved the ball down the field with relative ease and productivity. It's now 10-0 for LSU with 38 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Tigers coming in at 5-1 overall. He can take a bow. And Arkansas at 4-2. But the time of possession is really one of the most telling statistics so far in this first quarter.
It absolutely is, and it feels like Arkansas defensively hasn't quite figured out the balance of playing off, bringing pressure, playing up, and forcing these receivers to get open against man-to-man. Garrett Nussmeier and that offense have really had answers. That's why, as you said, it felt like a little bit of a win to force that field goal.
That last drive, 14 plays, 60 yards, using 5:43 on the clock. Capped by that 33-yard field goal from Damian Ramos. LSU has won 3 of the last 4 in this series, but keep in mind the last 4 games have been decided by a total of 12 points. Competitive as well as contentious. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line for Taylon Green. This is what they're playing for. Folks, it's a little bit deceiving, the trophy. It took 2 gentlemen to lift that one, well, 3 of them actually, 2.5, 175-pound trophy. And everybody got a piece of the action.
I bet Quick could lift that thing by himself. I got no doubt about it.
Yeah, today it was a leg day for him. I was watching him. Yeah, a burst through that offensive line from Dubinion, and a 1st down. Ball came loose. Tigers have it. LSU will have the football in auspicious field position. Major Burns scooped up the loose ball. And the grief-stricken homecoming fans had to see this.
And it's just the poor ball security by Rashad Dubinion. After he takes that first hit, ball gets away from his body. It's a nice job. Who got that knocked out? It looked like it was Greg Penn,
yeah.
Number 18, the linebacker that knocks it out. Great pursuit. Poor ball security, and this LSU offense got another opportunity.
There's a look at Penn. Had a great visit with his mom and dad at the hotel a little bit earlier today. Wonderful family. There's going to be a flag on the play. They're going to blow it dead first. But back to Penn. He's really one of the voices of that defense.
And another pre-snap penalty for LSU.
Wow.
On a snap infraction by DJ Chester.
That's 4 of them now.
Yeah.
So it sets up a 1st and 15 back at the 43. The Tigers already with almost 150 yards of total offense. Nussmeier, another quick three-step drop, gets it out complete to Daniels. And Daniels roughed up out of bounds by Robinson, short of the first down.
I like the patience by Garrett Nussmeier and Joe Sloan early in this game. Anytime Arkansas is playing off, it feels like they are very content to take a short underneath throw, make Arkansas make an open field tackle, and dare them to come up and play them in press coverage so they can take those shots deep.
That's going to be the end of the first 15 minutes of football here at Reynolds Stadium. Brian Kelly's crew leading 10-0 when we come back on homecoming weekend. Game of the week. Folks, this is the SEC on ESPN. Back here at Reynolds Stadium, sold out on homecoming weekend. Mark Jones alongside Roddy Jones. Quinn Kesnick down on the field. The Tigers with the football at the Arkansas 33. And hand it off to Durham. And Durham will pick up a first down, brought down by Landon Jackson. Q caught up with Coach Kelly a moment ago.
Coach, what's your mentality when they're in off coverage?
Well, listen, if we get free access, we got big guys on the perimeter. Let's get 5-6 yards and get down in distance in our favor. So, we've gotten some free access throws. We're going to take them.
How would you best characterize your team's readiness?
They came out prepared. We did this against South Carolina, came out flat, got down 17-0. We go on the road against an SEC team like this. You better come out ready to play, and these guys are ready to play.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Offense, number 79. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Q, I bet you Coach Kelly's not happy about the procedure penalties, albeit the score in their favor right now, 10-0. Wow.
And it's the second one on the center, DJ Chester. And let's not forget, of the 5 starters, he's the only one that wasn't a regular starter a year ago. This really only his second start on the road in SEC play. Somebody, this crowd might be getting to him a little bit.
Nussmeier on the out and up, down the sideline. Incomplete. Intended for Lacey. Robinson back there to knock it away. And good pressure from Landon Jackson again, Roddy. It's becoming a little bit of a variable.
It certainly is, and good coverage by Marquise Robinson on the stutter go, and then you get the safety over the top, and they've got a pretty good shot at intercepting that thing, but TJ Metcalf and Marquise Robinson end up competing for it, and it ends up incomplete.
2nd and 15 from the 33. Taylor in motion, now sets. They keep it on the ground with Williams. And Williams stopped up after a gain of about 2. Hey, it all comes down to this, and you got to love it. A winner-take-all Game 5 WNBA championship. Liberty looking to win their first title, while the Lynx look to win their 5th. It all goes down tomorrow night. Barclays Center, 8 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. WNBA Countdown tips it off at 7 Eastern in New York.
I know it's a big third down here, but I got to get your WNBA pick in Game 5.
I got to go with the home team.
Okay.
Got to go with the home team. Sabrina Ionescu. Clutch buckets. Although Nafisha Collar is going to have a lot to say about that. All day to throw. Nussmeier almost intercepted. It'll be 4th down. Larry Worth had his hands on it, but couldn't come down with it. But they get another stop and keep them out of the end zone.
Larry Worth is just kind of playing center field. He's going to drop back in this area right here. And Garrett Nussmeier doesn't really see him. Just kind of sinks in that hole. Started in that safety position, ends up in the middle of the field, and had a pretty good shot of intercepting that. LSU fortunate neither one of those passes intercepted on that drive.
Ramos attempting to tie his career long of 48. And it is true. Pure. Makes it a 13-0 advantage for the visitors. tweaks being made on both sidelines. Offensively, with the Tigers, W. Reynolds, Razorback Stadium. LSU Tigers leading it 13-0 after that field goal by Damian Ramos a moment ago. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Razorbacks and quarterback Talon Green. As we check in with the studio, guys, what's up?
Jonesy, good evening. Matt Berry in our college football studio. Time now for the All-State check-in. It's gone final in Knoxville. Jalen Milroe, Alabama, one final chance, picked off by Will Brooks. And for the first time since 2007, Alabama has multiple losses before November. 24-17. Good old Rocky Top.
It's a new day and age in college football. Pass complete out of the backfield. Jaquindon Jackson picks up 7 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 3. One of the tasks you would think at this point, partner, is Arkansas just being able to possess the football for 6 or 7 minutes here, right?
That was only their 9th play of the game. It feels like, as Quint Kesnick said in the break, LSU's got more pre-snap penalties and Arkansas has plays almost.
And they're going to pick up a 1st down here with Jackson. Keeps his feet moving, moves the pile another 2 yards. Jaquindon Jackson, their leading rusher, 566 yards coming into the game. And Petrino loves what he contributes to the offense and his detailed, meticulous preparation as well.
Talked about the fact that he does a lot of stuff before he gets the ball to set up what happens after he gets the ball. Great feet in the backfield, no wasted movement, and a great track.
Talon Green, clean pocket underneath, complete. And a bone-jarring hit at the 39-yard line by Greg Penn, who got smoke for the Hogs here. Roden made the catch for the gain of 3. Time now for the Aflac trivia question. Tonight is the 3rd top 5 matchup in Darrell K. Royal Texas Stadium history. When were the other 2?
Ooh. That's a great question.
Stopped my winning streak at 1.
Yep. This one's going to get me. I'm going to say when Darrell K. Royal was coaching, and it wasn't Darrell K. Royal Stadium.
Yeah. 3rd top 5 matchup. Nice run off tackle by Braylon Russell. I'm guessing it might be a Texas-Oklahoma game at some
Will they play that at a neutral site? Maybe Texas Tech coming to town?
Texas. Yeah, that's right. It wouldn't have been at the Cotton Bowl.
You know, maybe the Crabtree era of Texas Tech. Would they have gotten in the top 5? I don't know.
No time to Google here.
No, not at all.
3rd and 4.
They're down.
Razorbacks trying to stay on the field. Green doing it with his legs. He's going to pick up the 1st down and slide safely right near midfield at the 49-yard line. 7-yard pickup. How healthy does he look out there?
I think he looks fine right now. That was one of the first hits we've seen him take. He hasn't been on the field a lot, but he looked good on the rollout. That time, Whit Weeks was actually spying him, and he was one-on-one in the hole, but Talon Green had enough athleticism and mobility to get around him and get that 1st down.
Yeah, I'm betting on Green in that matchup all the time. 1st and 10 from the 49. Blitz coming. Green eluding the pressure and those long loping language strides. Able to get him out of harm's way. 6'6", 230 pounds. Angular. The transfer from Boise State really has alchemized that entire side of the football, the offense, and that locker room. A great influence and a real winner in the words of Bobby Petrino. Throws it complete. Out to the 40-yard line, Satania. And that's going to be a 1st down. They'll spot it at the 39 for a 10-yard gain.
Back-to-back plays where LSU had a free rusher coming right for Talon Green. He's able to deliver the football just before Savion Jones gets there. 2 consecutive plays where you've had a chance with a free hitter to sack the quarterback. 2 consecutive plays where it ends up in positive gains for Arkansas.
Armstrong split to the top of your screen. He's their leading receiver. Green surveys. fires down the sidelines. They're going to mark it complete. They're going to spot it right at the 25-yard line. Broden, their slot receiver, working against Ashton Stamps, picked up 14 to move the sticks.
It's a nice delivery by Taylon Green, and the 6'7" Tyrone Broden. That left foot looks clearly in bounds. Firm control before that right foot goes out. Good catch.
Bobby Petrino knew that Arkansas needed a quarterback when KJ Jefferson left, and had a lot of tape on Taylon Green, having previously recruited him. Green downfield, got him in! Touchdown Hogs! Get the feeling that the party just started for homecoming. Now it feels like homecoming here, Roddy.
The buzz had left this stadium, and the party is back on after that touchdown.
Taylon Green with his 6th touchdown pass of the season. Andrew Armstrong with a touchdown catch. He has been their clutch receiver all season long, capping a 9-play, 75-yard drive. Arkansas right back in this football game.
G Hotels and Resorts is brought to you by Burger King. You rule. And the new 2025 Hyundai Tucson Hybrid.
Both LSU and Arkansas with esteemed, high-achieving track and field programs. You saw Mondo, Kerry Richardson, Vernon Norwood, who, by the way, is a big ESPN fan. All Olympians. Arkansas, of course, with Ryan Krauser, recently engaged, and Bailey, and some real winners, gold medalists.
Let's go back to that last touchdown. Watch the eyes of Ashton Stamps as you get Luke Haas and then the rollout from Taylon Green, and he just gets caught looking in the backfield, and the flag route by Andrew Armstrong ends up being wide open. But because of that play action, he sees a receiver coming out to the flat and Taylon Green rolling out. He takes a step up and gets to the sideline, and they're trying to coach him up, say, hey man, what are you looking at? You gotta have great eyes in that situation. Andrew Armstrong was wide open in the deep third.
See what kind of adjustments Coach Williams has made on the defensive side of the ball for Arkansas. They got in Nussmeier's face, but he found his receiver incomplete, though. Lacey couldn't get his arms underneath that football.
But as you mentioned, there was pressure in his face. Arkansas was able to get some, at least something to disturb the throw, and it ended up incomplete.
2nd down and 10. They keep it on the ground with Jackson. Hey, let's go back to that perplexing Aflac trivia question.
Aflac.
Tonight's the 3rd top 5 matchup in Darrell K. Royal Texas Stadium history. When were the other 2? Answer. Texas, Arkansas.
Oh, back in 1970. Ohio State.
Texas.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gotten either one of those.
And for those of you that are interested, 0-0 on the board in that game. 3rd and 4. Nussmeier delivers complete to Trey'Dez Green, the erstwhile tight end, moved to wide receiver, working against Singletary, picked up 8 for the 1st down. What do you make of the move with him this week to that position?
I think that he's the type of athlete that you can move anywhere, and he provides a massive body at 6'7", almost 250. A guy who averaged 27 points a game as a junior in basketball in high school, and there's rumors that he might play for the LSU Tigers as well on hardwood.
Nice little 3-4. A stretch 4.
Yeah.
1st and 10. Off tackle, this is Caleb Jackson picking up another first down. And speaking of hoops, hey, John Calipari, the first-year head coach here. Different SEC venue for him. So used to seeing him wearing blue, now wearing red at Arkansas, and he's got a squad this year.
A lot of new faces, but a lot of excitement. The Hogs love their hoops. This defense going to try and come up with some sort of stop, some sort of block.
Yeah.
Here's LSU's past midfield.
6.5 to go in the half. Williams. And Williams going to pick up about 4 on the play. Sorey Jr. making the tackle. It's up a second down. Josh Williams had 9 rushes for 34 yards last week in their upset against Mississippi. He and Jackson getting the bulk of the carries here. Durham's also been in.
LSU averaging almost 7 yards per rush, 6.8 after that last rush. Much better performance so far on the ground.
Balance and achieving it has been one of their goals of late. On 2nd and 6, Nussmeier to Trey'Dez Green, incomplete. There's a little bit of jostling down the sidelines. No flag thrown. Sets up a 3rd down and 6. When you look at Trey'Dez Green, you mentioned 6'7", 245, freshman from Jackson, Louisiana. I mean, you couldn't have cast a better looking football player from head to toe.
No, you could
physically.
not. And they are really high on his future. I think he'll be one of the best players in America before it's all said and done if he continues to work.
Some call it wide receiver U. They've put out a few good ones over the years. 3rd and 6. Nussmeier eluding the rush, but there's a flag down. Pass high, almost interception. It's all going to come back, though. Arkansas may have been offsides. Brad Spence, number 22, came off the edge prematurely.
Offsides. Defense, number 22, in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Yeah, he was in the backfield real quick.
Just almost timed it perfectly, but almost timing it perfectly still means 5 yards for the opposite team. On the other side, I know it was going to come back, but Arkansas eventually, one of these balls that touches your hands defensively, you got to bring it in.
Right.
Just to get in Garrett Nussmeier's mind, like, hey, you're throwing it to us a little bit.
3rd and 1. Wow. This is going to be the 6th procedure.
False start. Offense, number 66. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
And
I want to say that's the 6th procedure penalty against the Tigers.
And that's the all-world tackle, Will Campbell, a guy who's played a ton of football. But again, the shift by Arkansas on the defensive line creates a flinch. There he is. Watch the flinch when Arkansas shifts. Yep. A little bit out of your stance. That's enough.
Yeah. That's twice now we've seen that shift get them. Moves it back to the 46. Lacey in motion. Nussmeier under heat. Caught at the 36-yard line. What a catch by Taylor, but there's a flag down on the play. Let's see if it stands or not. Mason Taylor extending to make the grab.
Personal foul, hands to the face. Defense, number 0. 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. 1st down.
That's going to go against Nico Davaye after this splendid catch.
He just gets up in the neck area of Will Campbell and then pushes that helmet. Yeah, you can clearly see it. As Will Campbell's head snapped back. So it takes some of the shine off of the incredible catch of Mason Taylor, who had a big catch last week on a 4th and 5 late in the game on the game-tying drive.
On the end around, this is Thomas. And Thomas going to be tripped up at about the 16-yard line. Xavier Thomas, the Mississippi State transfer, picks up 5 inside the red zone. It'll be first down. Nose of the football going to be spotted at about the 16. Coach Williams for Arkansas, the defensive coordinator, has done a nice job this year of disguising defenses, but so far they've been a little bit porous against LSU tonight.
False start. Offense, number 1. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Okay, this is what you have to call repeated system failure.
Yeah.
I mean,
you need a reboot. Unplug.
Yeah.
Replug it in. Try and restart the whole system. But you are right. And it's been mostly the offensive line. It's been all the offensive line to this point. That time, Aaron Anderson jumps. Receivers are taught to look at the football and go when it's snapped.
2nd and 10 from the 21. Nussmeier got it off in time. Caught down at the 17-yard line by Lacey. Hey, Q, with all the procedure penalties, how much of a factor is the noise down there?
I guess it's a major factor. I mean, but I got to tell you guys, it's loud, as normally an SEC home game is loud. This is not new for the LSU Tigers, so it is a little perplexing. They practice with noise and music all week long. They've been on the road before, and it's just kind of baffling why you've seen so many in this first half.
Yeah, 7 in all. Tigers 5 of 7 on 3rd down tonight. Nussmeier throws it away. Had Daniels in the vicinity. So it's a win for the Razorbacks defensively as the field goal unit comes in, led by Damian Ramos. Boy, the proclivity of Brian Kelly's teams to implode at the most inopportune time has been really one of the stories here in the first half.
It has been. Arkansas's defense holding them to field goal attempts. Really nice job in coverage. A nice tackle in twist. Creates a little bit of pressure as well.
4th and 5. Here's the field goal from Ramos. Knocks it through to make it a 9-point advantage. We're going to take a short timeout. Have an update on the other side of this break.
Back in Fayetteville, Arkansas, one of 12 Fayettevilles in the United States. Alabama, Arkansas, Georgia, Illinois, Indiana, Missouri, New York, North Carolina, Ohio, Penn, Tennessee, and Texas. That sounds like a Cheesecake Factory menu, but Fayetteville's named after Marquis de Lafayette. And that was a French nobleman who fought during the American Revolutionary War. 12 towns named after one guy.
Hey, man, when you say you're going to Fayetteville, that leaves a lot in question, I guess, Q.
Yeah.
You can be anywhere.
Lafayette, my favorite character in the Hamilton play.
Ah. Saw that a few times. Let's go back to the studio.
All right, Matt Berry with your AT&T Multiview, which is keeping fans connected. A fascinating night window tonight, led by Georgia, Texas over on ABC. That one tied at 0s. FCS 1-2. South Dakota State, North Dakota State, SMU up early, and Stanford and Kentucky a 3-0 lead over Kentucky on SEC Network.
All right, thanks a lot, Matt. Back here, Jaquindon Jackson in the backfield on 1st down and 10. Green fires complete. It's incomplete. It hit the turf. Tyrone Broden, the intended receiver.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd down.
Take another look at that.
Like Tyrone Broden. Did it hit the ground? I don't think it did. Let's see. Oh, maybe at the last minute, but it looks like he's got his arm under it. I think that's a catch.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. The previous play is under video review.
Remember, there must be indisputable video evidence to overturn the call on the field. It was ruled incomplete.
He had to catch it about 3 times, but I don't think it hits on that initial. It has not hit there.
Is his arm underneath the football?
Looks like
this might be a catch.
Looks like it's clean. It's clean. And then the question is, at the last, on that last sort of fall forward, is his arm under the football, and do we have indisputable video evidence that it is? You have to see it. I think that's a catch. Yeah,
that looks like a catch.
That looks like a catch to me.
His left arm and forearm appear to be underneath the football.
And I can see why they ruled it incomplete. I mean, it was dangerously close before he gathered control of it.
He played with 3:05 to go. That offense of the Razorbacks hasn't been on the field all that much here in the first half. Coach Pittman telling us that this year's team is unique.
After video review, the receiver caught the ball. As he went to the ground, he had firm control. It'll be second down and 8.5 from the 31.5-yard line.
They'll take it.
Yeah, this is the look initially, and the one, it doesn't touch. I don't think it touches ever. Again, firm control as he goes to the ground. Taylon Green now 8 for his first 9 throwing the football in this game.
2nd and 4. Green got rid of it in time. Armstrong over the middle. Going to be brought down just shy of the 40-yard line. They move the chains. Major Burns with the hit, but an 8-yard pickup. Moving judiciously here. They've got all 3 timeouts remaining.
And they get the ball first in the second half. So this is a huge drive to come up with points on.
Green on the sideline. They're going to rule that a catch. Wow. Broden appeared to get his feet in bounds, working against Alexander here. Look at this.
He's 6'7", and it looks like he needed all of it. Left foot, right foot,
a completed catch.
Left foot still in bounds.
Holding. Offense number 76. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
Well, the holding is going to nullify that play, but what a brilliant catch by Broden. 6'7". Senior from Detroit.
They've really been waiting for him to break out. He's already had a number of nice catches in this game, and even though that one isn't going to count, and that creates a lot of confidence with your quarterback, a lot of confidence for the receiver to be able to make that catch and keep his feet in bounds.
Pass batted down, incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 20. Washington got a hand up there.
Savion Jones in the backfield as well.
Yep.
Savion Jones had a really nice move against the left tackle Fernando Carmona to get in the backfield. And even though it was a screen, I think the pressure was a little quicker than Taylon Green expected.
Looking at 2nd and 20. Green fires, finds his man Armstrong. His security blanket. They're going to mark this at around the 44-yard line. They played to the whistle. And under 2 minutes to go in the first half on the 14-yard gain.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
We've got the 2-minute timeout. One of the wonderful new wrinkles in college football this year. We'll take a break and pay some bills.
I'm Matt Berry. Coming up in the Mercedes-Benz halftime report. Pick your poison in Austin. The defense is showing up early between Georgia and Texas. What's Alabama in some waters they haven't been in quite some time? And Illinois continues to make history. Joey Galloway joins me coming up on the Mercedes-Benz halftime report.
Back here a little under 2 minutes to go under the lights at Reynolds Stadium. Fayetteville, Arkansas, 3rd down and 6 for Green. And he completes it to Armstrong for the first down on LSU's side of midfield. They've got all 3 timeouts remaining on the 7-yard gain.
LSU's got those 4 guys lined up again. The issue is they're far from the line of scrimmage, so it actually gives the offensive line a chance to see it a little bit. They were a couple yards off, was the first guy in that line of 4. Arkansas picks it up, and it's a first down.
Green slings it incomplete. And 5 different flags thrown as Broden got rocked by Sage Ryan. And we're anticipating this being a targeting flag. Defenseless receiver and using the crown of the helmet, and Sage Ryan is slow to get up too, and now he crumples to the field.
Personal foul, targeting, defense, number 3. The previous play is under video review.
So what you're looking for, Tyrone Broden is a defenseless player. What you're looking for is forcible contact to the head or neck area. You need an indicator of targeting, which is a launch.
Oh yeah, he left his feet.
Yeah, he certainly launches. The only question is that forcible contact. It's like some of it comes to the chest, but initially, boom, right, that it's the shoulder of Sage Ryan.
Yes.
But it's to the head of Tyrone Broden initially. I think that is forcible contact to the head of a defenseless player. I think that's going to stay as targeting. It doesn't matter how Sage Ryan hits him. He gets his head out of the way and hits with the shoulder. But because Tyrone Broden is a defenseless player, if it comes to the head or neck area, then it's targeting.
And Broden still being attended to by the Arkansas athletic training staff. There's a look at the rule by definition as we watch Ryan, who delivered the blow. Dangerous hit involving a launch, upward thrust, or severe strike, 15-yard penalty. Forcible contact to neck or head area.
Yeah, there's 2 things here. One, it's the launch as he launches upwards. Secondly,
after video review, there is no foul for targeting. It'll be second down.
So that surprises me, because that initial contact is to the face mask of Tyrone Broden. And his shoulder ends up making contact with sort of the chest area. But watch the initial contact. It's right to the face mask as Broden comes down. And the bulk of it is absorbed by the chest. But because of the contact to the face mask,
that's the head.
That's the head.
Yeah.
So I am surprised by that.
Comes back to the 49-yard line, a simple incompletion. Green down the sidelines, got one-on-one coverage. Contact. We're going to have an incompletion, no flag intended for Anthony, who was working against Major Burns. And a puzzled look on the fans here on this play.
The thing that Burns does to get away with this contact is he turns around to play the football. You're allowed to find the receiver while you're turning to find the football. He's making a play. His body's just in between the receiver and the ball.
3rd and 10. Green overshoots his receiver wide. Satania never really had a chance. And what looked like a promising drive just a few plays ago for Talon Green in the offense now will culminate in a punt. 1:21 to go.
And don't look now, but LSU in that explosive offense has 1:21 seconds and 2 timeouts.
Number 14 for Arkansas is now number 46.
This is going to be the first punt for either team tonight, Roddy. Devin Bale into punt. There's a look at Xavion Thomas. Perched at his own 9-yard line for LSU. Nose of the football punted down, pointed down, and end-over-end punt. Wow. Couldn't have done that better with a pitching wedge. Inside the 5. Pinpoint precision by Devin Bale, 47 yards. Well, they're playing for the boot in this, the 70th meeting between these two teams and schools. Let's look at where we are. 6 different states bordering it. Mississippi, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Texas.
It's interesting talking to the LSU folks on the sideline before the game. All they could comment on was how great the weather was, because this is the earliest that they've played up here in a long time, and usually the weather's a lot colder and sometimes a lot more damp.
The ruling on the field is that the ball did not cross the plane of the goal line, and it was down at the 2-yard line. The previous play is under video review.
That's
oh, wow,
we're going
back to the punt.
What you're looking for is the ball crossing the plane.
That looks like it's short.
I think it's just barely short. Yeah, I don't see it touching the white. And then it clearly bounces back into the field of play. Worth taking a look at, because it's an 18-yard swing. Yeah. But I certainly think this will stand.
Devin Bale, the punter for Arkansas, is there saying, hey, don't take away my stats, okay? My punt inside the 20, because they chart those.
Right, the back judge was right on it. He was about the only one. All the Arkansas players couldn't find the football. Yeah, it's
That's
pretty
short
clear.
Of the chalk.
Yep.
After video review, the call on the field stands.
When you
love a good
punters have to celebrate those.
Yeah, I mean, you don't often have one that hits 2 inches short of the goal line and bounces back in the field of play. Down on the 2-yard line when no one can find it. It's a phenomenal job by him.
First and 10 for LSU. Pass complete to Daniels, and Daniels pushed out of bounds a few yards short of the first down. 7-yard pickup.
Garrett Nussmeier, the accuracy throwing on the run, giving his receiver C.J. Daniels an opportunity to make a man miss and add some yardage on the end of that catch.
He's 14 of 24 so far. 2nd and 3. Nussmeier down the sidelines. Incomplete, and a flag thrown at the 39-yard line. Marquise Robinson defending on Kyron Lacey.
Pass interference. Defense, number 13. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
Real time. Oh, he's got the jersey. Couldn't see that from our vantage point, but he's got the jersey of Kyron Lacey. Other than that, real time, it kind of looked similar to the one that LSU got away with on the other side. But
I was thinking about that.
But the grab of the jersey is certainly what gets the flag there.
Under a minute to go in the first half. They're going to keep it on the ground. Caden Durham with nowhere to go, stopped up right at the line of scrimmage by Cameron Ball. Ball had a nice game a couple of weeks ago in that win against Tennessee. 4 tackles, had a sack. Setting up 2nd down and 10. Three receivers to the top of your screen. Mason Taylor, the inside receiver for LSU. He's the son of NFL Hall of Famer Jason Taylor, erstwhile of the Miami Dolphins.
Timeout, LSU. It is their second. It will be 30 seconds.
So they got 1 timeout remaining. Arkansas with 3, 14 seconds to go. And now a quick word from Verbo.
Defenses so far have been stingy, and that really showed in the...
Done?
Look, if you want a house without a host, you should have booked a Verbo. Like I was saying, both teams have really good defenses, and it really showed in the second half.
Under the lights here at Reynolds Stadium.
I know the feeling, Coach, with 3 young kids at home.
Hey.
Sometimes I'm looking like, hey, you guys need to go get a Verbo.
pull that Scully, huh?
Right.
Nussmeier going to take a knee. And they'll run it into the locker room with a 9-point advantage at the break. Remember, the last 4 games have been decided by a total of 12 points. So plenty of football to play. And a tight finish pretty much guaranteed. Back to the studio.
This is the studio as we bring you the Mercedes-Benz.
You're watching the Dr. Pepper Championship Drive Game of the Week.
The Golden Boot began its journey in 1996, a connection between lines of 2 states, a border battle to settle pigskin conflicts. The natural state had a long slate of daring greats. The Bayous, Burrow, and Daniels added more spice to this tasty gumbo, and so it begins the quest for the 4-foot-tall, 175-pound, 24-karat gold prize. I'm not finished yet, because I know you want more. To try to predict this SEC battle would be unwise. Contention, competition, and confrontation highlight the task mightily. This one has all of the juice of an acrimonious rivalry. A rivalry indeed. Our spoken word tonight. You're watching ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by IHG Hotels and Resorts. Folks, this is the SEC on ESPN from Fayetteville, Arkansas. Great job on our spoken word by producer Kim Belton. LSU with a 9-point lead. The good news for Arkansas is that they'll have the football first here to start this 3rd quarter of play. Taylon Green returning from injury, 11 of 16 in that first half. Mark Jones, Roddy Jones, Quint Kesnick down to the field. Roddy, a different kind of first half when you look at trying to reconcile the stats with the scoreboard.
Yeah, and I think it comes down to Arkansas's defense being able to hold LSU to field goals, kind of keeping them in this game. And for Arkansas offensively, the turnover really hurt. They've been able to move the ball some, but a couple drives have stalled, 1 turnover, and you find yourself down by 9 points in the second half.
Green 11 of 16, going to hand it off to Jackson. Off right tackle over the 30 down to the 32-yard line, brought down by Sage Ryan, who was shaken up in that first half, and now Jackson comes up limping and hobbling. He'll come off the field. He's their leading rusher on the season, came into the game with just under 600 yards. So it'll be 2nd down and 5. He's such a vital part of their offense. In for him now is Russell. Green going to throw it. That pass a little bit short, intended for Andrew Armstrong. So we're looking at 3rd down and 5. Back up trying to work out the kinks there on the sidelines.
This is the replay of the last play. He's not able to get enough on that ball. Create this 3rd and 5. Jaquindon Jackson, losing him puts Braylon Russell in a place where not only is he going to have to carry a lot of this, he's going to have to play on 3rd downs too and pass block.
Given time, picks up the 1st down out to the 42-yard line. Good catch and run by Haas. Let's go down to Q.
Thanks, Mark. For Sam Pittman, I think the biggest concern in discussions with him was his defense and the short passing game that LSU has continued to just, they're basically like jabs. If this is a boxing match, LSU is beating Arkansas with jabs, and that is the short passing game. They're 13 of 16 completions under 10 yards in this game. Look for Travis Williams, the corner man of this Arkansas defense, to make some adjustments now in the second half. They've got to do a better job. Got to do a better job against a short passing game.
Yeah, that's been the prevailing storyline of the first half, and we have players shaken up. That's Greg Penn III, one of their key leaders defensively, being tended to by the athletic training staff. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the numbers for Garrett Nussmeier in the first half. 13 of 23 passing the football, but inside those numbers, it's the short passing game in particular having an impact.
And Arkansas, true to their form, has done great against deep passes down the field. But LSU a lot more patient than what we saw last week or a couple weeks ago when Arkansas took on Tennessee. They played that off coverage. Tennessee never made them pay in the short passing game. Garrett Nussmeier has been patient. Joe Sloan's done a great job of designing this offense. Brian Kelly has to be pleased with the way they move the ball. They got to put the ball in the end zone, though, in the red zone.
I was talking about Penn being one of the leaders a little bit earlier. Met his mom and dad in the hotel here in Fayetteville. Telling me about his sister and what a close family this is. His sister was born prematurely, just 1 pound 9 ounces at birth. This was, of course, was several years ago. She's now a freshman in college, 135 healthy pounds, and the two of them are inseparable, frequently texting each other after and before games. Green incomplete near midfield. Weeks knocked it away. Folks, kick off your Week 7 NFL Sunday with Countdown. Sunday NFL Countdown, 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN and the app. We'll have 2 Monday night games for you next week. Ravens taking on the Bucs at 8 on ABC, ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Plus. With Peyton and Eli on ESPN2 and exclusively on ESPN Plus, the Chargers square off against the Cardinals at 9 Eastern. Man, the Ravens got a big win last week against the Commanders. You know, some of us were lucky enough to get to that game. Q lives in the area, and you'd think that he would invite a brother over. You know what I mean?
It was a daddy-daughter day. He took his daughter. Q, you guys had a great time at the game.
My daughter's a sophomore in high school. She's fallen in love with the Ravens. But the quarterback play with Lamar Jackson and Jaden Daniels, that touchdown he threw to his left, one of the most amazing passes I've seen a rookie quarterback ever make.
Amazing. You can ask us next time, Q. 3rd down and 10. Green fires complete at the 45-yard line. Isaac Tesla picks up 14.
It's a really nice job of this offensive line picking up the pressure from LSU and creating a lane for Taylon Green to deliver over the middle. And remember, Greg Penn went out for this LSU defense. He's been replaced by Devon Keys. That's one of the places where they are the thinnest on defense at linebacker spot.
Green, a decisive toss again, complete to Haas, picking up another 1st down. Luke Haas had 1 reception last week, picks up 11 here.
And Keys, the true freshman right here in the middle, he's going to be responsible for Haas. The veteran, savvy sophomore tight end kind of gets into him and then breaks out. Devon Keys came into this game with 1 tackle. That was the one place, linebacker, where they are iced in.
This is going to be Russell on the carry, nowhere to go. He'll be stopped up by Whit Weeks. You know, one of the things that's kind of conspicuous by his absence in this game so far is Swinson and Jones. Those 2 ends, haven't seen them sack the quarterback yet.
No, we have not. And Savion Jones has been impactful. He's knocked down a couple of balls. I think he's been in the backfield a couple of times. We've seen him make some tackles. Braden Swinson is the one that's been a little bit less obvious what he's done in the game, but always dangerous. Well, he's backed off the line of scrimmage now.
That pass complete. Armstrong making the catch at the 30. Let's see where they mark his forward progress. Sage Ryan making the tackle on the play. Yeah, getting back to Braden Swinson might be arguably the best defensive end in the SEC, and that's saying a lot.
It is saying a lot, and the way he played against Ole Miss certainly suggests that he needs to be in the conversation. They give a lot of credit to their edge coach, Kevin Peoples, who came over from Missouri with Blake Baker for helping him with the mental side of the game.
And that time they sacked the quarterback. Great pressure off the edge. Suggs finished off the job, but Jones was in there to make the quarterback, Taylon Green, step up.
And Swinson was collapsing it from the other side. It's like they heard us talking about him saying, where are they? Jones and Swinson just about met in the backfield at the quarterback, forcing Taylon Green up.
So this is
about that LSU defense.
Yeah, so this is going to set up a long field goal attempt by Matthew Shipley, who missed one earlier tonight from 42 yards out. This one coming from 51. And he finds some redemption, narrowing the lead to just 6. But just under 10 minutes to go in the opening quarter. So Sam Pittman's squad put some points on the board on their opening possession of the second half. A lift for the place kicker and an emotional lift for the Arkansas Razorbacks under the lights. Back after this. You're watching ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by IHG Hotels and Resorts. 6-point football game. LSU Tigers looking for their 6th win of the season. They'd automatically become bowl eligible. But it runs deeper than that. You're looking at defensive coordinator Travis Williams of the Arkansas Razorbacks, former linebacker at Auburn, on the JOB tonight. But Team Williams also in the stands tonight. But a lot of support from family members. They gave Coach Williams the game ball after their great defensive performance on the road at Auburn. Play clock at 2. They're going to hand it off to Caden Durham. Got about a yard on the play. Well, Coach Williams getting a lot of support from his daughter True, a 13-year-old.
Hey, Rain, I have to yell. Come on, defense! Oh! Okay!
Great to see True supporting Dad. It's different when you're a girl dad, Roddy. We know, Q, you know, and we're told that True is a brilliant young graphic designer, amongst other wonderful skills. She hoops as well, plays basketball.
And her dad is one of the rising stars in this industry. A big third down here. They've gone to a bit of a different alignment on the first 2 plays. An odd front 3-down lineman. Now a bunch of guys around the line of scrimmage make that offensive line figure out who's blitzing and who's dropping.
Osmeyer got it off underneath. It's going to be a foot race, and the Tigers will win it courtesy of Kyron Lacey. Picked up just enough to move the chains. Slaughter made the tackle on the play, and first down on the 7-yard pickup. He has an innate ability, Coach Williams does, to really connect with his players and inspire. Not to mention the wonderful tactical approach he's taken in games. Pass complete down the sidelines to Daniels. Inside the 35 to the 34. They move the chains again. Hudson Clark finally making the stop.
This wasn't a called double move, but it ends up being that because there's nothing there with the hitches initially. CJ Daniels just turns up the field, plays football. Hey, I'm not open right here. Let me see if I can get open downfield, and he does.
Longest play of the day, 29 yards for LSU. Nussmeier taking a shot. Incomplete. As Daniels lost his hat on the play. Not sure if it was the football that went out or his hat.
The ruling on the field.
Did he make a catch?
Pass. Number 4 has to go out for 1 play because his helmet came off without foul.
He did not catch that. Did he catch that?
Effort. I don't think so, but
what in the name of OBJ is going on here? Oh, he did not.
The ball hits the ground. It goes behind his back. If he'd have caught, I might have walked out of the booth if he'd have caught that. I mean, unbelievable.
He sold it very well, partner. He sold it extremely well. He has to come off because his helmet came off. 2nd and 10 from the 35. Lacey split to the bottom of your screen. They're going to hand it off to the tailback Durham, and he's met right near the line of scrimmage by Larry Worth, who was elected captain this week for this game. Had an inspiring conversation a little bit earlier this week with his father that helped get him ready for this game.
And he was excellent for them a week ago, especially in the run game.
Timeout for a defensive player injury.
3rd and 9 coming up, and that's Slaughter slow to get up. With 7:02 to go in this rivalry game. Back in a minute.
ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by IHG Hotels and Resorts, is brought to you by White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly.
I tell you what, if you come through Fayetteville, Arkansas, you have to visit Herman's Barbecue, a staple since 1964. Now owned by Nick and Carrie Wright, has been visited by many people, including former President Bill Clinton. Our crew had a meal there last night, and food was good.
Ribs fall
Always
off
is.
the bone.
Yeah, man.
Sides were on point. Service was excellent.
Man.
Highly 10 out of 10. Recommend.
Sparks were coming off people's plates there.
Yes, they were.
3rd and 9. Nussmeier surveys, scrambles, flag down in the backfield. He delivers. It's going to be a catch by Taylor, the 15-yard line. Mason Taylor with another highlight reel play for 19 yards, but it may come back.
Holding. Offense, number 50. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remains 3rd down.
That's going to go against Emory Jones right there.
The excellent right tackle, Emory Jones, against Nico Davaye. As Nussmeier turns and spins, he's got the hold of that shoulder pad. We do have to recognize that was a tight end making a amazing catch on the sideline, keeping a foot in bounds. And Mason Taylor, was a nice job by him. But another 3rd and long. And if you're Arkansas, you haven't been able to get to Garrett Nussmeier. Do you just drop 8 here?
Take a look at what they're doing. Nussmeier with plenty of time to toss it. Finds his man way short of the 1st down. And there's another flag down at the 31-yard line. The catch made by Lacey. It's going to go against LSU.
I think you accept this. You push him back even more, because if you decline it, they're in field goal range.
Good point.
Pass interference. Offense, number 2. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remains 3rd down.
There's a reason why he got open.
Yeah, and by as much as he did. I mean, there was a big push off at the top of that stem. Sent the defensive back flying.
Roddy, that's the 10th penalty of the ball game for LSU. A total of 75 yards. A lot of those procedure penalties on offense, which have been very deleterious and hurtful. 3rd and Benton, Arkansas to go. They get it out quickly, complete. Across midfield, that's Josh Williams. He's going to set up a 4th down at about the 47-yard line of the Razorbacks. So Coach T. Williams' defense gets the job done on that sequence, with daughter True watching in the stands.
And on that drive, the penalties obviously hurt LSU, but mixing up of the alignments of the defensive backs, some press, some off, mixing up the fronts, some even front, some odd front. Travis Williams pulling the strings to help get his defense off the field.
Fair catch called at the 14-yard lines by Satania. 34 yards to nothing on the return. Always festive on homecoming week. This was the scene last night during the pep rally here in Fayetteville. The call to Hogs.
Matt Berry in our college football studio with our Chick-fil-A move on the field, and we have an upset brewing at Iowa State. Rocco Beck picked off here by Brandon Adams. 66 yards for the touchdown. UCF up 21-14 at the half.
Right back here, it's first down and 10 for Arkansas. 5:04 to go in the third quarter. Green had it batted down. Intercepted by the Tigers at the 2-yard line. Whit Weeks. He tipped it and also made the catch. Wow, a cataclysmic turn for Arkansas.
Whit Weeks is blitzing off the edge, and it's a nice job to knock it up in the air, and then Talon Green, who's trying to knock it down, actually saves it for Whit Weeks. Hits it back up in the air, and Weeks makes the interception. That's an incredible play by the linebacker. Great job getting your hands up, and then the awareness to snag the football when it's in the air, setting up the offense.
Durham in the backfield, first and goal. Durham on the carry, plows his way into the end zone. They convert on the turnover immediately. And with 4:52 to go in the third quarter, they extend their lead.
And now up 12, they're going to leave the offense on and go for 2. Man,
what a turn.
Arkansas defense did a nice job on that drive, forcing a punt. The offense had momentum early in this half. Talon Green a little too ambitious. Whit Weeks with a phenomenal play.
Second touchdown of the night. Caden Durham. They're going to go for 2 here, of course. Williams in the backfield. Taylor in motion. Nussmeier. They get the conversion to Green. Trey'Dez Green, an imposing target at 6'7", makes the catch. And a stunning turn of events in favor of LSU, who now lead at 24-10. Turnovers have been the bane of Arkansas the entire season. When you look at their record, turnovers really kind of put them in a position where they're 4-2. They could easily be 6-0 at this point if you break it down a little bit.
The 2 games they lost, Oklahoma State and Texas A&M, are the 2 games they lost to turnover margin.
Yep.
Every other game where they're even or plus in the turnover margin, they've won. So it's simplifying it a little bit, but not much. I mean, that was basically, you just gifted them a touchdown with that interception.
Here on homecoming weekend, the winner of this game, especially LSU, puts them solidly entrenched, you would think, in the college football playoff picture. Not guaranteed, but definitely a great bounce back after that opening season loss against USC. Ball went into the end zone. It'll come out first and 10 at the 25. Time now for our drive recap covered by Geico.
Is a touchback. The ball landed without being touched in the end zone. It'll be first and 10. Arkansas.
Here's a look at that last interception by Weeks. And then the touchdown run on the next play by Durham.
Whit Weeks fired up. He has been sort of a heart and soul type guy in his first year as a full-time starter. Played some for him a year ago, made a few starts, but this year he has really taken his game to the next level.
Talon Green has his man at the 49-yard line. Satania hauls it in, and it's first and 10.
It was a lot more to that catch and run if that ball had kept him in bounds. It's not a bad throw by Talon Green, but a great throw would have led him up the field and up the sideline for a much bigger gain.
Green delivers another strike. Forward progress going to be at the 41-yard line. Satania the target again. The man who decommitted from Oregon came to Arkansas, local product here from Fayetteville High School. 2nd and 1. On the handoff, this is Jackson. Good to see him moving well again. We saw him miss a couple of plays with an apparent foot issue. Picked up 4 to move the chains.
And he, on that run, had to cut off both legs. So you could see that whatever was ailing him earlier, he's found some way to alleviate it at least enough to be effective.
Three receivers out to the top of your screen. They're going to keep it on the ground. This is Russell with nowhere to go. He got rocked by Weeks. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10. And boy, in that other big game in the SEC tonight, it's all Georgia so far at the half.
Yes, it is. And it's been all Whit Weeks for about the last 5 minutes. Major Burns does a nice job of forcing Russell to cut back into the teeth of that defense, cut up the field, and Whit Weeks there to clean him up.
Green on 2nd and 10, gets it out quickly, complete. But a good tackle in the open field by Major Burns. Great close on Russell. Wow.
Guy that Blake Baker really commended for playing his best game a week ago against Ole Miss, and really talked about the fact that he's trusting the defense, playing his 111, doing his job, and the defense will allow you to make plays. Saw 2 plays ago, Whit Weeks made the play because of the force. That time he makes the play.
Green almost got away, and Whit Weeks seemingly ubiquitous right now all over the football field. And that sets up a 4th down.
They've used the sophomore to spy a couple of times. There he is in the middle of the screen, eyes on Taylon Green. And as soon as Taylon Green presses the line of scrimmage and starts to take off, boom, he takes off like a rocket in the backfield. 46. Gets enough for Taylon Green to bring him down.
We'll have to punt, and Devin Bale from his own 44-yard line. Fair catch called. It caroms into the end zone. It'll come back out. Well, the race to the college football playoff is on in earnest as we cross the midway point of the college football season. A look at some historic winners through the years. But with the new format, 12 teams get in. 4 teams get a first-round bye, and here's a look at some of the contenders. Texas in that lead car. LSU drafting nicely right now. Roddy, I know you're a big race car guy. Drafting on Clemson, Tennessee, Louisville.
They're in the formation, just looking for their opportunity, looking for a gap to gain some traction on the exit of a corner and slide in front of some of those other cars.
Got to do that Ricky Bobby slingshot move.
Yeah, slingshot engage. Shake and bake.
1:36 to go in the 3rd. This is Durham, brought down by Slaughter. 1:27 to go in the 3rd quarter. Coach Kelly told us earlier that he feels like this year's team is unique in the sense that the sum is greater than its parts.
They got some really good parts in that sum as well.
Yeah, that's saying a lot.
It is saying a lot.
He knew that they'd have to overcome Arkansas's effort. One of the hardest playing teams they've faced, he says. Nussmeier throws a rope complete. Forward progress is going to be right around the 32. Good catch by Daniels. Hey, the first men's college basketball game of the season Friday night on the SEC Network and ESPN app. A charity fundraising exhibition matchup between number 16 Arkansas and number 1 Kansas. Coverage begins 9 Eastern on SEC Network and the ESPN app. Look forward to seeing Coach Cal and his crew this year. A couple of guys, one big fella came over with him from Kentucky. 11 yards on that last gain, and condolences to the family of Nolan Richardson, whose lovely bride passed away several days ago, Rose. And of course, when you come to Arkansas, I think about not just the national championship year of Nolan Richardson when he coached that team, the 40 minutes of hell, in his own words as he described it, really popularized that. And the shadows of greatness here at Arkansas. You're watching the Dr. Pepper Championship Drive Game of the Week from Fayetteville, Arkansas. Folks, this is the SEC on ESPN. And that is what they're playing for tonight. The boot. 175 pounds of trophy and enshrinement. And we got all kinds of flags on the play, and not to mention that trophy is 24 karat. Marquise Robinson defending Kyron Lacey on that play. With the price of gold right now.
I mean, there's a lot of gold on there.
There's a lot of gold.
Pass interference. Defense, number 13. The ball be placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
Going to move the ball right to midfield. That infraction against Robinson, a.k.a. Cuddy, to his teammates. So it'll be 1st and 10. Josh Williams in the backfield. Nussmeier steps up into the pocket, finds Taylor, and Taylor hit out of bounds at about the 37. A moment ago, Q caught up with Coach Pittman.
Coach, who do you look for to provide a spark right now?
Well, we've got to protect it a little bit better. We had to get them off the field. They're still making 3rd down conversion. We've got to get them off the field. Unfortunately, we had the ball batted down here. But our quarterback's the one's going to have to get Bellis out of this deal. We've got to get open. We're not getting open right now.
So it starts with Taylor. What do you say to him?
We believe in him. And we're going to keep calling the throws. We're going to protect him. We're going to get right back in the game.
Thank you.
Nussmeier bobbling the snap. And he's going to barely get back to the line of scrimmage. They implode on that 1st and 10 play. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Nussmeier coming up hobbling a little bit.
You definitely don't want to see that if you're an LSU fan. Garrett Nussmeier has just done a really nice job today of taking what the defense has given. He's put the ball in danger a couple of times. It was really a brief period in that 2nd quarter, but looks to be in some considerable pain.
2nd and 10. Nussmeier with big heroics last week. Looking for a big road win. Completes the pass down to the 28-yard line. His receiver, Daniel, still on his feet fighting. And close to another 1st down, working against Hudson Clark. Let's take a look at how he was shaken up on that previous play. First, the errant snap.
And you get about a 300-pounder landing on that leg.
Yeah. Nussmeier's waited his turn, Roddy. When you think about the fact that he waited 2 years behind the eventual Heisman Trophy winner, Jaden Daniels, and was able to eschew the temptations of the transfer portal to stick it out. Said something. On 3rd and 5, they're going to call a timeout.
Timeout. LSU.
We'll take one too. Come back with this play on the other side. Quarterback Garrett Nussmeier had just said in wake of the win last week that it wasn't his best game basically, but we had a chance to win the ball game. I had to focus on that. He was not having a great night. Finished just 43% completion rate, but he made the plays when it most mattered. A pivotal 3rd and 5 right here. They keep it on the ground, and Arkansas's defense is going to make it a 4th down. Caden Durham picked up only 2. He's about 2.5 yards shy of that 1st down marker. And in comes the place kicker, Damian Ramos.
Cameron Ball with a great individual effort in the middle of that defense to force the field goal attempt. It's a big one to put through the uprights to make it a 3-score game.
This one from 47, made one earlier from 48, another 2 from 33. And that one is true. His 4th field goal of the evening. That's the most he's made in a game in his career. And the lead swells to 17. Let's take a look at our playbook, brought to you by Modelo. They've just been chipping away invariably and inexorably underneath dink and dunk all night long.
It's been incredible patience by this LSU offense to move the ball down the field. The thing that the Arkansas defense has done is they've done a nice job of keeping them out of the end zone. They had the 1 touchdown drive early on, and then the touchdown that was gifted to them after the West Weeks interception. But after the Whit Weeks interception, excuse me. But other than that, Arkansas's defense has done a nice job of holding this LSU offense that's moved the ball almost at will to field goals.
Feels like the old proverbial bend don't break type of scenario. But problem for the Hogs right now, they're down 17. Under 12 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. But you heard the passionate intonations of their head coach Sam Pittman saying that we believe in Taylon Green. And he'll have the football 1st and 10 from his own 25-yard line. Well, we talked about what's at stake tonight. A win for LSU. It keeps their college football playoff hopes alive in a very muddled, murky-looking SEC right now, especially what's happening with Texas and Georgia.
And it keeps the control of their destiny in their hands.
Right.
I mean, if result holds in Austin, Texas is going to take a loss. That means Texas A&M and LSU, if this result holds, will meet next week for 1st place in the SEC. 2 undefeated teams in conference.
How about that? Green spins, and it's brought down at about the 13. Under tremendous pressure, Paris Shand, the first one to get there. Conversely, here's a look at what's at stake for the Razorbacks tonight. A win would really clear the lane and give the Hogs a huge reset on their season and put them in the mix, in a sense, and take some of the heat off of some of the chatter that was coming the way of Coach Pittman. Whatever you want to make of that. That was the 3rd sack of the night. Jackson, between the tackles, gets back some of that yardage out to the 23. And Jackson, for the 2nd consecutive time, slow to get up after the 8-yard gain.
Timeout for an injured offensive player.
Quindon Jackson, the leading rusher for the Razorbacks on the season, being tended to. We'll have more on the other side.
ESPN College Football Prime Time is presented by IHG Hotels and Resorts. 19 hotel brands, 1 loyalty program. Download the app. And in part by Mercedes-Benz.
Wonderful facilities here at the University of Arkansas, including a little musical treat and a Papa Shot. I think that's BMAC, our cameraman. Oh, that was Q knocking down the jumper.
Well, I mean, BMAC's holding the camera, made as many shots as Q did.
He's, multitask. 3rd and 13. Razorbacks have to stay on the field here. Green almost had it batted away, running away, and incomplete. Never had a chance. Good pressure by Brandon Swinson, a.k.a. Sack Swinson. And that's going to get the defense off the field.
One of the first times we've called Braden Swinson's name right here on the edge. He just goes
Number
around.
14 for Arkansas.
And I don't know how Taylor Green holds onto this football.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible hand strength to hold it when your arm gets hit like that. Of course, Whit Weeks in the picture.
A high spiral punt by Bale. Fielded out of bounds. They're going to mark it about the 20-yard line. Xavion Thomas with the catch there. A 58-yard punt. What a night it's been so far for Whit Weeks. Batted down that pass, caught the carom, and it led to a touchdown on the next play. And a big hit there. Been all over the field, sideline to sideline.
This is a guy that's coming off a week last week where he had 18 tackles. So 27 tackles in the last 2 games. Whit Weeks is quickly establishing himself as one of the best linebackers in this league. It's a nose for the football, incredible instincts, incredible motor.
Saw Greg Penn shaken up a little bit earlier. On the run, a gain of 2 yards. That was Jackson, got 5. Second and 5 coming up.
You got to start to look at the number of possessions that are left in this game. Brian Kelly's going to hope his offense can stay on the field. If you're Arkansas, you almost need a 3 and out to even have a chance. But Whit Weeks getting worked on a little bit. You play as hard as he does.
Yeah.
You just grab the duct tape, stitch them back together.
Run a little off tackle here. This is Jackson. He's going to set up a 3rd down and about 2. Jaden Johnson making the tackle, and meanwhile Jaquindon Jackson limping his way into the locker room for Arkansas. Not a great sign. He is their best running back on the season. Been very productive for them. And they lose a lot with him not being in there, Roddy.
They do, and this Arkansas run game has slowed significantly since they've gotten in SEC play. 100+ yards for Jaquindon Jackson in each of the first 3 games. But in the SEC, it's been tough going. And I think the step up in competition, the fronts that they face have really kind of exposed this Arkansas offensive line in the run game.
Timeout. LSU.
Tigers call the timeout. That's their 2nd of 3.5. A pensive looking Coach Kelly on the sidelines. Back after this.
Schedule a cupcake for homecoming. That's not the case this year for Arkansas. Why do you schedule LSU for homecoming?
That's a great question.
What better way to celebrate homecoming?
Because if we scheduled a team like Mizzou, it may be a chance, you know?
Because we're going to win, obviously.
He knows it too. They knew the Tigers would come down here at Fayetteville and just, we're going to spank them.
That hasn't been the case so far tonight. Nussmeier gets it out, complete to Taylor over the 33. You know, Roddy, I went to York University. Our football team wasn't very good. We were everybody else's homecoming game. It was so bad. We used to bring our own float.
Oh, did you really? Just to participate in the parade? Oh,
no. Looks like Taylor down. Pardon me, that's not Taylor. That's somebody else.
C.J. Daniels, I think it looks like, who just came back for this game. Oh, man. Got to have your head on a swivel, young man. Ain't no spectators on the field.
Nope. There was nothing unsportsmanlike about that.
He's trying to get to the football. It looks like Daniels is at least throwing some form of a block, a get in the way block, but
Anthony Switzer ran right through him.
You can't buy a ticket on the field. No, you gotta be an active participant, or you are an easy target.
Into the tent he goes. First down and 10. Nose of the football resting at the 32.
LSU is going to be content to slow the game down as much as they can.
On homecoming weekend, the Razorbacks climbing uphill right now, facing a daunting assignment in the next 8:49. Handed off into the boundary. That's Williams. Got back to the line of scrimmage. And should LSU hold on to this 17-point advantage, we have an interesting scenario in the SEC. Alabama's got 2 losses. Georgia's got a loss. Who takes the reins of this, or is there a clear-cut type of leader in the SEC at this point?
It's a great question, because if the results hold like they look like they are in the 2 late games, this one and the one in Austin, Texas A&M and LSU are the only 2 undefeated teams in conference.
Wow.
And yet, I think if you asked people and polled people across the country, I'm not sure that many people would say LSU or Texas A&M are the best team in the SEC. LSU's had a couple close calls. Texas A&M's had a close call. I mean,
you think about that early season loss Texas A&M had against Notre Dame and how that maybe figures into the equation.
Yeah, you certainly do. And like, you look at LSU, South Carolina game, a game that they were behind, had to come back. Ole Miss, a game that they very easily could have lost. So do you go back to Georgia, or do you just say, hey, look, the teams that keep winning are the best teams?
That pass is caught miraculously at the 45-yard line by Aaron Anderson. 10-yard gain, but man, he took that thing almost off the shoe tops here. Watch this.
I think that ball hit the ground. Woo. I'm not so sure he got it, although they didn't stop it to review.
Yep. It's like that Helen Reddy song, it's too late, baby. Gain of a few yards on the play. 9 yards.
That was an incredible catch by Aaron Anderson.
Yes.
A little surprised they didn't take a look at it, but with 6 minutes left in a 17-point game, maybe the determination is, or possibly they had a great view that showed it didn't hit the ground.
Kyron Lacey split to the bottom of your screen. Mason Taylor on that side, but Nussmeier comes back the other way, complete to Thomas. And Thomas is brought down at the 35-yard line. Clock running with 6:09 to play, an 11-yard gain, and they are surgically and meticulously carving up that Razorback defense. They've raised their total yardage to 340.
I think the big thing for LSU going in to the week of practice is going to be finishing in the red zone. It's really the one thing they haven't done successfully and consistently in this game. But this is a team that's in the conversation to be the best in the SEC, particularly that defense continues to come along, continues to get pressure.
Nice run there by Durham, tripped up. Well, there's the Taco Bell Live Más student section. All season long, student sections across the country are competing to be the Taco Bell Live Más student section of the year. Download the Taco Bell app to learn more.
You ever painted up for an event, a game, fun?
No.
Not even in high school?
I haven't gotten that brave. I put a little makeup on. That's it. For certain events.
Halloween. There's still a chance. Halloween's next week.
Yeah,
you go trick or treating.
Yeah. I'm gonna think about a costume. 2nd and 6. And right now, Durham doing his best Harvey Williams impersonation. There's a throwback name for you. Going back to old school LSU running backs. Durham with a nice sprint for 13 yards. And Arkansas in big trouble here. Down 17 with 4.5 to go.
Yeah, it's an Arkansas defense. It feels like the entire complexion of the game changed on the Whit Weeks. Batted ball, interception. LSU gets the ball on the 2-yard line, punches it in, goes from a 7-point game to a 14-point game, and it felt like the air was taken out of Arkansas.
Anderson in motion, and Nussmeier keeps it. Makes it down to the 13-yard line. Slaughter made the tackle on the 5-yard gain.
And if you're in the helmet communications for Garrett Nussmeier, you're saying, hey, man, we got this one in the bag. Don't take that hit.
Right.
Don't take that hit. But I love the energy of the quarterback. He got up pumping his fist.
Yeah, he got a little swag to him.
He does.
Showing off his wheels, doing his best Sha'Carri Richardson there.
Well, let's not go too far.
Doing his best Mondo Duplantis then.
There you go.
Hands it off into the B gap that time, and Josh Williams picks up 3.
This is after that play. I mean, they're up 17 points in this game, and he's...
Love his confidence.
Yeah.
Saw him hit the Dougie last week when he got into the end zone.
You know, it's going to be super interesting because he's going to have a decision to make at the end of the year, shooting up draft boards. You know, who knows how high he'll get. This is an LSU offense that has obviously produced some big numbers from a quarterback. So, you know, what decision does Garrett Nussmeier make at the end of the year? But before that, how high are the heights that he can take this LSU team?
Durham in the backfield, brought down about a yard shy of the end zone. Sets up a 1st and goal. They could get the first down without getting into the end zone. A 9-yard pickup, and Arkansas on life support.
And this is the exact type of drive Brian Kelly would have wanted.
They hand it off to Durham, and he gets into the end zone. Touchdown. Caden Durham. Further silencing what was a sellout crowd at one point. That's his 3rd touchdown tonight. You know, LSU might be happy about the fact, Roddy, that maybe not a lot of people outside of Louisiana are considering them one of those top 4 teams to get that first round bye.
Yeah.
Or where they figure in the SEC, but LSU keeping their hopes low key, like the bottom lock. 2:20 to go. Looking for their 6th win of the season, and right now leading by 24 points. Meanwhile, Georgia leading Texas 23-8. With a little over 8 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Here's a look at LSU's remaining schedule. At A&M, but they get Alabama at home. 2-loss Alabama at home.
I mean, it's suddenly a schedule. Once upon a time, we probably looked at it and thought, okay, A&M ranked team, Alabama is Alabama, so that's still going to be tough, but it's not the daunting task that maybe we thought in the preseason. And look, Alabama LSU is going to be a Saturday night in Death Valley. Yeah. That is a Saturday night type game, I would imagine.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Tigers don't lose on Saturday nights in Death Valley. And then obviously you can't take anybody lightly, but you get a win next week and you are squarely in the driver's seat, and it's a mature performance with Texas A&M on deck, coming off the heels of a big emotional win against Ole Miss at home, a field storming event. You're able to come out and take care of business against a good Arkansas team.
Surprised that the margin is what it is in this game, considering the fact that the previous 4 games were decided by a total of 12 points in this rivalry for to boot. Sam Pittman actually thought that maybe that week off helped them not only get healthier, especially Taylon Green, the quarterback, but avoiding a little of that psychological letdown in the immediate aftermath of upsetting a top 10 team.
And I think their play, especially early in the game, would suggest that he's right. The thing is, this is an Arkansas team that's not good enough to overcome a negative turnover margin.
Right.
They're just not. And most teams aren't, especially in conference play.
It's what's killed them all year, frankly. Pass underneath, Satania. Ball comes loose. They put it on the ground. Were we just mentioning turnovers, Ronnie?
I think we were just having that conversation.
I think we were just talking about turnovers. The 3rd of the night. You cannot put the football on the ground and expect to win. Keys recovers it. And that's really going to do it for LSU.
I mean, -2 in the turnover margin against Oklahoma State. That a close game down the stretch that they end up losing. -3 against Texas A&M, including a turnover on the final drive where they're driving to try and tie the game. And then the third one here, and the Arkansas faithful displeased, obviously, on homecoming, but sometimes you just have nights that aren't your nights.
So Arkansas is going to fall to 4-3 after this one. Ball at the 27-yard line for the Tigers. Nussmeier will come into the series 22 of 33 passing. Total of 220 yards. Took good care of the football tonight. Got it out quickly. Used great discernment. Handed off to Caleb Jackson there to pick up about 3. We're at the 2-minute timeout.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
When things are going your way, hey, do a little bird catching.
Run, little birdie!
Birdman. What happened to that boy? Birdman.
Matt Barry in our college football studio. Still so much college football to play. Coming up tonight, ESPN, Isaac Wilson, now the quarterback for Utah the rest of the way. They've got TCU coming up in just over 16 minutes. You're on ESPN.
All right, Ricky Collins in at quarterback. Takes over from Garrett Nussmeier, hands it off to Juwan Johnson. Picks up a few yards, under 2 minutes to go. Nussmeier's night has concluded. 22 at 33 passing, 220 yards. Didn't throw for any touchdowns, but didn't turn it over either. There's a look at Ricky Collins, the redshirt freshman from Baton Rouge.
The numbers for Garrett Nussmeier were not gaudy, but I commend him for his play today because he was patient. He took what Arkansas gave him. There's a lot of underneath stuff. Didn't get frustrated.
Let's get this call.
False start. Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
And Brian Kelly's going to have a chance to
not take the 10-second runoff.
Talk to his team about some of these procedure penalties on Monday.
Yeah, he certainly is.
Or Sunday.
And the fact that one of the backups, Ori Williams, now has one too, means not only the starters will get that talking to.
Collins going to hand it off to Johnson again. Nowhere to go. He'll be brought down for a loss on the play. Cameron Ball making the tackle. Next game up is TCU against Utah. A lot going on in the Big 12. Look at that conference. Colorado with a nice win at Arizona today. Here's what it looks like in the Big 12.
Yeah, kind of muddled at the top.
Yeah.
I think the fact that Utah 1-2, Cam Rising done for the year, it puts them in a situation where, I think it'd be tough for them to get back into it.
BYU undefeated at 4-0, 7-0 overall. Pimpton making the catch.
Texas Tech too.
Yeah.
Up there. We saw Kansas State last week after their win against Colorado. They're surging. Big matchup next week. Colorado taking on Cincinnati.
31 seconds to go. So LSU is going to win 4 of the last 5 times now against Arkansas, and they will retain possession of the boot while giving it to Taylon Green in Arkansas. Green fires complete to Binion. 24 seconds to go. Yeah, they're going bananas here. Not sure why.
Like, that's a little dangerous.
Yeah.
Just smack
Projectiles.
somebody in the face with a banana. At least they don't have a banana cannon that just shoots them up into the stands.
Come to Arkansas, you look forward to eating some bacon-wrapped pork. Pass complete. That's Dubinion out near midfield with 15 seconds to go. Bacon-wrapped pork was one of the meals today here, I saw.
Did you have any?
I couldn't mess with the pig today.
I missed
Didn't
it.
want to give back my workout.
I certainly would have.
Need some vegetables in my diet. Over the middle. And LSU's defense was almost eating again with another interception. Almost. Instead, it goes as a mere incompletion with 1 second to go.
Michael Turner Jr. fought that thing the entire time. Looked like it had bacon grease on it.
Yeah.
Oh. Can't believe it.
Last snap of the ball game. And Arkansas will hand it off to Dubinion, and that'll do it. Nussmeier and LSU vanquishing the Arkansas Razorbacks. Nussmeier finishing up with 220 yards passing. Durham rushing for 122 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's it. College football scoreboard is coming up next, followed by TCU and Utah. For Roddy Jones, Quinn Kesnick, and our crew, I'm Mark Jones. Let's go back to the studio.